Welcome back to Shira, Half Demon Princess Anime Review Episode number 3. This one I'm reviewing the 4th episode of the anime, Gateway to the Past. This one takes place not like the last week's episode where it was immediately just after the last one, the cliffhanger. This one is just like a week later, where we find out what the character's up to. Toa's still going to school, nothing really changed for her. Setsuna has taken up violin. She's taken up playing the violin. She was taught by Moa. She's Sota's wife and the mother of May. Adorable little girl. And as in the case of Moi, she, of course, who is the granddaughter, who is the daughter of Inuyasha and Kagome, she is doing cardio aerobics with a group of senior citizens because she feels like it. Then she somehow tracks down Roothead and convinces him to basically send him back to the past in exchange for the jewels, which they kind of do anyways. So then she somehow, some way, brings over a giant yellow backpack full of lots of including a very familiar looking bike. Yes, a familiar looking bike. Presumably, this is Kagome's bike, and Setsuna, when he sees the backpack, like, oh, this looks like my sister's backpack. Yes, this big, humongous hiking backpack was Kagome's. It's possible this was hers. And Setsuna is basically, beside wherever her demon, we actually wear a different outfit for a change. A blue dress. And she looks beautiful in it. Mori basically even comments on this, basically, about the outfit. She looks cute in it. Toa doesn't say much to it, but she does like the fact her sister is wearing something different aside from her Demon Slayer attire. And Moe, of course, Moe is like very happy to have her around. She's kind of in the way her niece, just like well, Moriki is, and of course, well, she refers up as well. Sota's niece is like adorable niece, and gives him basically a thing of receipts. Because she used up his credit card. I'm like, okay, I get the fact she's probably family. Probably because she's not his direct child. He probably can't punish her. Probably her sister can. And of course, they keep talking about Kagome. You finally see a picture of Kagome in this series. Like, outside of the brief flashback we had in that awesome pilot episode. We see her actually with her friends in high school. And she's wearing the very outfit she wore throughout the entirety of the original Inuyasha anime and final act. Up until the final episode where they actually switch attires for her. Yes, in the final, if you haven't ever watched Inuyasha, which I highly recommend watching, it's a damn good series. In the final episode of the series, she actually stops wearing basically her high school sailor outfit and switches to a priestess outfit, which she also wore not only in the final act, also in the final chapter of the Inuyasha manga. She also wore this attire also in the then back in One Shot, which was adapted for the pilot episode. I have read there is an episode coming up that's going to be adapted from chapters that were never adapted for the original Inuyasha anime or even final act, which are like, really? Why would you skip over this stuff? But lucky enough that, and this is my personal theory. Now, of course, I will talk a little bit about the scenes next week. That's going to be interesting. So, they able to go to the past. Of course, Toa basically gives her adoptive or her younger sister a hug goodbye. And she says, please come back. And she says, well, can't make no promises, but I'll try to make it back. And of course, they go up and they go in the portal. And then they meet up with a representation of the Tree of Ages. And what form did the Tree of Ages take up? Why, it's freaking Kikyo! Yep, Kikyo. Also, apparently, inside the Tree of Ages, looks like an adult Ren. Yes, Ren's in the Tree of Ages. What the heck she's doing here, no idea. Never explained of what the heck she's even doing here. So, basically, Tree of Ages wants, basically, Setsuna, Toa, basically the half-demon princess, that's what they call it, ask them to kill this other demon, Shishimaru. Why? Now, the other demon wants to basically interfere with time. Okay, fine. But why the heck kill Shishimaru for? Heck, even Setsuna and Toa basically turn request to kill Shishimaru. It's not like they don't know him. He's still their father. Moa probably doesn't freaking care. Of course, they kind of go, yeah, she's definitely Kagome's daughter. No mention the fact, even though that it's been revealed that she is in fact, her father is in fact Inuyasha. Now, she has heard of the Great Dog Demon. She's very familiar with that. Which, kudos to the fact that they actually wrote that in. The fact that, well, they kind of hint at that with next week's episode. So, they turn on Tree of Ages, and, well, they decided to have the Tree of Ages fight Roothead, which they defeat. And of course, she fires arrows at and this mysterious pink light, which I'm thinking, wait, is that the Shukonju? I thought it was destroyed in the original series. Nope, here it is. Somehow it's back. I don't know how. It could be, but it's kind of strange to like, how the heck would this thing even be even back? Kagome Iwasha destroyed it years ago. How the heck is it back again? No idea. And look how they brought this little route to get past it, so they threw it to blind it. So Setsuna and Toa destroyed it, and they emerged from the tree age. Now, meanwhile, on the outside, we see Kaede notices, that light's coming Tree of Ages. And then we see, this is Moroku and Sango's son, Kohaku's nephew, is, okay, I'll go inform Uncle about this. So he does, and there's Kohaku. And then the episode ends basically when they destroy Roothead. They emerge, and look at Moa basically has the backpack full on top of her, including the violin case that Setsuna brought with her. Which, kudos. Love that. That was a pretty fun ending. And that's kind of where the thing ends. I gotta say, damn good episode. Definitely looking forward next week because, according to the synopsis next week, like, they join Demon Court, and possibly we can see appearance by Moroku. Which, that's going to be interesting. Oh, I do have some sad news about the actor who voices Moroku. Apparently he passed away last week. At 47. Yes, Moroku's voice actor. Who's now voicing other stuff. But yeah, he passed away last week at 47. Like, what? Really? Okay, I did hear they actually did replace his voice actor for this series because the actor died. I'm like, okay, why not? Oh yeah, the thing about Moroku is he actually kept his voice actor both the original series and in Final Act. Also forgot to mention before I continue, a little about next week. Now, they do show up briefly Sesshomaru in this episode. You don't see his face, but yeah, it's Sesshomaru. How I can tell? His shoes. Yes, Sesshomaru actually bothers to wear footwear. You know, Inuyasha and his own daughter don't bother to do it at all. And it looks like that, well, Myoga, the little flea, he's back, which I'm very happy that he's back next week. And of course, Moroku, which I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how far he's actually aged in 14 years. I mean, well, I think he was like 18 or 19 when the original series, let's see, since it's been 3 years, he must have been in his early 20s, I'd say. So he's presumably in his 30s. Yes, I think Moroku might be in his 30s by now. It's possible. Yeah, but definitely looking forward to next week's episode. And I'm really enjoying this anime. It is so good. Yes, despite everything going on in the outside world, we have some damn good anime basically to look forward to. Yep. Now, this anime premieres, the dub premieres, every week at 6 o'clock. Which, okay, that's perfectly fine. On Fridays. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. Oh, in case you're curious though about Fire Force, no new episode released this week for dub. Nope, they're taking a week off. Yeah, well, the thing with this one is they kind of in a way wrapped up the arc, which I'm kind of glad they did with the last episode. But it looks like though next week, which is kind of supposed to basically be the finishing up of the arc they're working on, which is actually First Soul Temple and of course starting First Hydra Industries. That one's going to take up probably a majority of the rest of the season, possibly. I would think, though, episode 14, they would pretty much start it, which they probably will. I kind of thought that they would release this week, but nope, they didn't. Oh, if you're curious, though, how many more episodes left to go for Fire Force to be released for the season, presumably we're going to have 24 like we did last season. So, with 13 released last week, there's roughly 11 episodes left. Though in Japan, they're actually almost done with the season. Actually, Japan's like very much further ahead than the dub is. In the case of this series, well, it's only about 5 episodes behind in Japan. Yeah, it's only 5 episodes behind. I have heard a rumbling, according to article online. Apparently, episode 9 will actually bow to explain what the heck happened to Kagome and Iwasha. And could actually explain what the heck they're even up to, what happened to them. Also, here's an interesting question, though. Where the heck is Sango and Shippo? I mean, yeah, there's talk about Inuyasha. There's talk about what happened with Inuyasha and Kagome. And Moroku presumably is still alive. But what happened to Sango and Shippo? That's a very good question. Now, Shippo, I think at the end of the original series, he must have been about 11, 12-ish. He must be in his 20s by now. Possibly, yes. But who knows? Though in the case of Sango, she promised Moroku she would have 20 kids with him. Though she ended up, by the end of the last time they appeared chronologically, since then, she apparently has only had, like, 3 kids. Yeah, she's had 2 daughters and a boy. And she, oh yeah, more are coming. Highly doubt it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure for a fact that even though she's probably in her 30s by now, she's probably still a great-looking woman. I mean, heck, in the original series, she was smoking hot. So, no wonder why Moroku basically wanted her so badly. Yep. And I like the fact that we have the 4 primary characters, basically, of the original Inuyasha anime, Inuyasha, Kagome, Moroku, and Sango, where they actually had happy endings. Shippo just became an official demon. Yes. And apparently it looks like, though, that Shishimura became apparently he had basically taken up with a human. Now, is it Ren? I highly doubt it. If he did, that'd be kind of creepy because Ren was a little girl when he first met her. I know currently she's an adult, and the thing is, his daughters are both 14 years old. Ren looks like she's presumably in her 30s, I'd say. If somehow that she may have had kids with Shimuru, I don't know. But in the case of Shimuru, that's a big mystery of who did Shishimuru, who was the mother of these 2 girls. I mean, it has been confirmed, yes. Showa, Sasesa, and Toa, their father is Shishimuru. They confirmed that. But they have never confirmed who their mother is. It'd be interesting if they meet their grandmother. That would be something, because the thing is, Shimiru's mother actually did appear in one episode of the original Inuyasha anime, and she seemed like a very lovely woman, despite the fact being over 100 years old. It will be quite shocking for them to meet their grandmother, who happened to be the Lord. She's kind of like the Lord of her own domain. There's something says they can't do it. I mean, yeah, they're half human, but they're still her grandchildren. I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow met her at some point. It's possible. I know Iwashi's have met her. Aside from the fact he sniffed her, basically she's similar to Shimuru. Yeah. But not much else to say about this new episode. Just that it's really good. Okay, so that's it for particular view. I have a couple more videos I'm hoping to do tonight, which I think it's possible I'll be able to do them. Next one, of course, we'll go do right after this. I'm going to go ahead and start watching it. Watching the newest episode of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Yes, and I'm also going to resume watching Aztec War. Yeah, I rewatched the first couple episodes of the second season today. I'm going to watch 2 episodes and do my review for it. Yep. And then, now would I get time to do another video tonight? Probably not. I'll probably save for tomorrow because the next episode is going to cover 4 episodes. That's episode 4 of the series. Now, the one after that, 5, is going to cover 5 episodes. 6 is going to cover just 3. Yep. But yeah, so until you see the next video, bye.